Hello, my name is Nujum and this is, oh my god, I paused wrong. This is the Decorative Systems mod. This mod adds a bunch of really cool systems to Minecraft. A pretty interesting mod. I'll get into it into a second. For one thing, I just wanted to mention this is a 1.7.10 mod. I had 1.7, not 1.7, 1.8 in this world. And as it turns out, if you transition from 1.8 to 1.7.10, the custom doors, like I believe this was the jungle door, or no, jungle door was down here. The jungle door becomes the black DS's. This, whatever door this was, became like the purple DS, which is amusing. But yeah, check it out. I have DS's and stuff. It's an interesting mod. Definitely something I've not seen yet. So let's go down the list and show you all the little models and stuff. Firstly, we have the iPod. There's a little sprite you can see. And we have an iPad. First thing I'm going to say, I'm a little disappointed that you can't really right-click anything. Because this mod has a lot of popularity. Like, it's a super popular mod, but these are really, like, everything in this mod is entirely decorative, which I don't really like. I feel like there's a lot of potential missed here. But nonetheless, if you're into the decoration pieces, like, I wish, like, the screen flash, maybe you could make it lie flat down, because this is the only iPod. You can have it turn around a bunch. That's cool, I guess. Next up, we have the Atari 2600. This is an old gaming system. Like, I've not even played it. I'm not even that old, but yeah. It's an interesting model. It's kind of hard to tell what it is, in all honesty. It's kind of like, yeah, something like the Atari is kind of hard to recreate in Minecraft, but they kind of did it in the image sprite. I don't know if you can see, but there's actually the controller for the original Atari. I did a lot of research on Atari, as it turns out, in my high school. Oh, I didn't put that there. Next up, we have the PC. Just like with the Atari, you can put it anywhere. You can even have it floating. Don't ask about the mouse and keyboard. They're wireless. Did a pretty good job on this, at the very least. This looks like the painting was taken out of Minecraft or something. The background is Minecraft-y, I mean, not painting. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Again, no right-click features. I'm sad. Next up, we're gonna have the Genesis. I honestly didn't know this thing existed, like straight up. I have no idea what this is, before I had researched the mod. Now, interesting thing, as we get on to some of these consoles, some of them just don't change direction, which I feel like is a bit of a missed opportunity, but you know, because, like, say I wanted to decorate my side like this, well, now I have to do something weird like this. I can't have it facing me, which is unfortunate to say the least. I feel like that's something the mod maker should look into, right? Next up we have the PlayStations, and by the way, this is my favorite model in the entire mod. The PlayStation 1 logo just works perfectly. There's like one other I'm really happy. Oh my god. Oh yeah, never mind. That's where I had the DS's before, but I moved them. But yeah, this has to be like the coolest model and probably the most recognizable, if I'm honest. Like, look at the PS3, right? It's kind of derpy. The PS4, I don't know what's going on with this. I'm assuming there's something to do with my game, because on the actual site it didn't look this transparent, which is interesting. By the way, if you can't tell, PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and I'm guessing this is the PSP. PS Vita, mind you, is not represented, which is interesting. Vita was very much not a very popular system from my understanding. I personally didn't do much with the Vita, even though I would consider myself more of the Sony fan than the Xbox fan. May as well get that out of the way straight up. Anyways, if you're interested in the models, very much like the PlayStation 2 image, looks like it was taken from Google, actually, from the whites on the side, which is interesting. PS4 is fine. PS Vita, yeah, you can see there's a little bit of glitchiness there. But either way, the models are cool, and I just really love how this PlayStation 1 looks. Like, that's awesome. Next, we're going to move on to the Nintendo consoles. Not the Nintendo consoles, the Microsoft consoles. We have the original Xbox. This is a pink box for some reason, and I'm not sure why. The actual picture on the mod page looks pretty neat, I'm not gonna lie. I've not actually played any of these Xboxes except maybe a little bit of 360 with my friends, right? But anyways, here's the sprite for the Xbox 360. If you didn't catch it, here's the one for the original Xbox. Here, as we move on, is the 360. It's kind of hard to see, actually. Can we... Kinda? It looks so tiny. Although, it depends on how you look at Minecraft characters' heights. I'm sure it's, like, somewhat realistically sized. Anyways, here's the Xbox One. You can see the Kinect and the game controller. Again, the graphic itself is kind of weird, just because it seems to be like a high resolution image was shrunk down. But for the most part, they're okay, right? They get the job done, at the very least. What's really interesting is how thick these models are. It's not a problem with these two. Even this one is not really noticeable, but on the Xbox, it's like you can see the thickness of the sprite. It's kind of distracting. It's not really a problem with any of the other ones. Not that I've noticed. Anyways, now we'll go to the Nintendo room. Let's go ahead and clear out our inventory. Start with the classic Game Boy. Cute little model. I really like how this has been implemented. You know, pretty standard. It doesn't really look, in terms of like the buttons and stuff, it's not the greatest, but it definitely works. You can tell that's a Game Boy. Like, that's a Game Boy, look at it. Moving on, you see the N64. Crazy console, apparently. It was like part of the generation I should have been a part of, but I don't remember playing that at all. Now it's the Nintendo Entertainment System. This thing looks weird in Minecraft, man. And like, this is something I actually know a little bit about, like in terms of the history of Nintendo. This and the Super Nintendo I know a decent amount about, but like these in-game models is kinda... it's iffy. Like, this may as well be something from Minecraft Redstone, you know? Again, you know, no right-clicking. That's what the sprite looks like. So maybe if you want to put them on paintings, at least they're, like, decent, right? Here's the Gamecube. Bit of a strange model, a bit chubby around the edges. It does count as a full block, which is interesting because it looks kind of like a half block, so kinematics aren't quite in place, but it does look quite nice. You can definitely tell it's a GameCube. Really curious, it looks purple in its sprite, and the actual block is blue, but whatever, I can dig it. Next up is the Virtual Boy. Rather famous model for anyone who read anything about game design. Not game design so much as console design and console history, just incredibly famous attempt at VR that didn't quite go as planned, which is unfortunate. It was a cool idea. How would I judge this model? I'd say it's alright. It's about what I'd expect, honestly. Next up we got the Wii. Nice little sprite there. The thickness problem comes back, which is annoying. But you can see you have the Wii remote stand. I don't actually see the Wii remote. Maybe that is the Wii remote. Oh, okay, that makes sense, you know. Wii's pretty straightforward, pretty simple model to make. And last but not least, the Wii U. Again, the thickness problem in this sprite, but overall it's okay, I would say. It's a little weird that there's no TV, but then again, keep in mind these are decorative systems, right? The mod itself is called decorative systems, so I would assume these are mainly supposed to be used for furniture. Again, I do feel like there was an opportunity missed to like make them maybe flash red or something. Like maybe you right click and this button turns from red to green. Just little things that could be done better. Actually, we're not done. Hold on. I just realized I don't have a space for DS, which is interesting. Okay, so really quickly, I just want to make a point. for some reason there's a tab for closed DS and open DS, and yet the sprites are all there, which is interesting on its own right. Then we have this interesting problem of not problem, but like I feel like there's a missed opportunity to just right click these and add the functionality of, okay, now you flip from that type of DS to this type of DS. Like, these are somehow completely separate. I don't get it. I'm going to be flat out honest. I'm not actually sure much about the crafting recipes for these. In my research, it was like, it looked like there was a cartridge in the game, and I found this. It's a cartridge library, which is cool, but it doesn't really look like cartridge libraries, if that makes sense. Like, these look like normal books. It's nice, right? It's decorative, but again, it doesn't really sync up with the mod. Now, I will say the mod adds a decent amount. I mean, look at all of these tabs, right? But for one thing, it seems a bit weird. It feels like there needs to be a little bit of polish added to the mod, and it'd be like incredible, right? Like, there's a lot of potential I see. For one thing, I'd like to see this fixed. For another thing, I'd like to see a little bit more interactivity with the systems themselves, and maybe even like better textures. Because looking at these textures, like, take a look at the stone texture for Minecraft. The stone texture itself doesn't have to be very interesting. It doesn't have to like pull on you every second of every day, but at the very least it can't just be a blob done in MS Paint, right? And DS's, you can very much tell that they are a blob done in MS Paint or GIMP or whatever program this guy used. Which is a little bit sad. At least like a little bit maybe dark red spots and a little bit of variance in the color. I will say they look nice as is though. Like, definitely if you're interested in a decoration mod, or you're interested in the sprites maybe, okay, maybe not the sprites, but like if you want to have maybe like a role-playing setup, this is a cool mod. I know there are vanilla recipes, but again, on the forum, it was talking about a cartridge. I can't find cartridge, so I don't know what's up with that. Also, something to keep in mind, oh, it works with you. Something to keep in mind is that some of these systems don't turn, which is interesting. It really is something that you have to mess around with. So again, a little bit lacking in polish. Base idea is pretty cool. I enjoyed this mod. You can check it out in the description down below if it's what you are into. Anyways, yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of any more complaints I have with this mod. No, or even suggestions. Like, maybe can you put these all in one tab? Because as someone who likes to install a lot of mods, it's kind of awkward to go bang, 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 bang. Like, it doesn't make sense why I shouldn't just have them all in one tab and go bang, 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 bang. Other than for the sake of reorganizing them. Which, fine, you know, that's fine. It's just most of the mods I encounter put a lot of things in one tab and not 3 or 4 things in one tab, you know. That's just my opinion on it. It's an interesting mod. Yeah, I was thinking about whether or not I like this mod with the small problems it presents itself, but the base idea is obviously very solid. The models are at least, you know, they work. They look pretty nice. Maybe on a roleplay thing, again, probably be alright. So, yeah, check it out in the description down below. My name is Nujum. Leave a comment if you enjoyed, or leave a comment with feedback. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!